And we start the way we start. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu, Edumasa. Monday evenings are just the best time for us. And if you know, you know. You can ask Udute and you can ask Malik. If you know, you know. Yep, it's time for the most important ritual of our generation. And maybe, just maybe one day, it will be said that there was a program on Joy 99.7 FM hosted by some noble chief that warned us of future repercussions. However, folks, it is my hope and belief that through our advocacy for national interest, the light, in the light, the youth shall see light. So welcome to the ritual I call That's My Opinion. And our topic today, Jubilee House is well worth a promise. Jubilee House is well worth a promise. Now this is a very delicate topic, so I will urge that you pay attention so that when we get to the call-ins, you can help me reach out to the youth that I'm trying to pour out to. Now, before I come to today's topic, let me take you all the way back to 1572 and the Kingdom of Navarre, originally known as the Kingdom of Pamplona, between the present-day Spain and France. Forgive me, my pronunciations are all over the place. Now, these were the days of conquest and religious upheavals. Henry IV was the King of Navarre. Though he was born a Catholic, his mother had brought him up as a Protestant. In 1589, in the battle against the Catholic forces and to rule the whole of France, Henry IV got to the gates or the edge of Paris. And for 4 years there was a stalemate. The French masses were not ready for a non-Catholic king. And that's when the smart politician, as he was, he said, Paris is well worth a mass. As a smart politician, at 4 years of a stalemate, or Bemba, he said, Paris is well worth a mass. He then gained support of the people to capture Paris and rule France. After he got the power, he then passed the law for Catholics and Protestants to cohabit, and that was the end of the religious wars. But what he said is what I want us to dwell on. Paris is well worth a mass. If you want me to promise you that I am Catholic, then Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Now, hand me the keys to Paris. Folks, now bear in mind that this was what the people wanted him to promise. He had lived as a Protestant. He was a fine king, a great warrior. He had fought his way to the edge of Paris. All these were signs and attributes of a good leader. But they needed him to lie. Promise us that you will be Catholic. After 4 years, he said, Paris is well worth a mass. If Henry IV was a Ghanaian politician, after campaigning up and down the country, trekking on some of the treacherous roads. Some plait hair, some need banku, name it. They do all sort of things. For 4 years, he gets to the gate of Jubilee House, and we will tell him, make us promises. And he would have said, Jubilee House is well worth a promise. What do you want to hear? Folks, in our case, we have many requests, impossible requests, and not just one. Henry IV only had to make one promise. Folks, here we demand hundreds of nation-wrecking promises. I said, here we demand hundreds of nation-wrecking promises. We love to be sweet-talked. And you dare not speak the truth to us. If you want the keys to Jubilee House, you dare not speak the truth to us. Dare not come and tell us the times are hard and as I'm coming, it will be a challenge. Then, my brother, you don't want the keys. Do not act or show any signs of being a disciplinarian. We will not give you Jubilee. Folks, most nations are built through an iron fist rule, sometimes through a barrel of a gun. The citizens are directed towards the national dream with no exceptions. Somehow, we are fortunate to be building our nation, our happy home Ghana, with the rule of law. Even though the less privileged get marginalized in this aspect, but if you're fortunate to press the right buttons, you will get justice. But all in all, you can't deny that there is rule of law here. Folks, we have become our own enemies. We demand blood out of stone from persons vying for leadership. Number one, how many free things are you going to give us? Are you giving us more free things than the other guy? There's a competition of freeness. Number two, how many taxes are you going to reduce? Now bear in mind that out of the whole population, just about 2 million are registered formally to be taxed. And ask yourself, how many of this number even pay 100,000 CD tax a year out of this number? But all the same, we want taxes reduced in the face of more free things. We want allowances, we want cars, we want even more luxury cars, we want accommodation, fuel, bills paid for, we want flight tickets paid for, and then we need our roads done. We need more toilets to be built, hospitals, more schools. But that's not all, folks. That's not all. At the gate of Jubilee, we say that that's an interesting one, folks. This I find very interesting. Now, that's not all we want. You will have to pay for all our bad investment. Even though in some cases you warned us that we should not do it. And at the time we even threatened you. Now that it is clear that you are right and we have lost our money, you have to promise us to pay or no Jubilee. We want you to pay for all our bad investment. Even though in some cases you warned us that we should not do it. And at the time we even threatened you. Now that it is clear that you were right and we have lost our money, you will have to promise to pay or no Jubilee. Oh, and please, we want to be in discipline. So if you're going to set foot at Jubilee House, then promise not to be too hard on us. Folks, the scary part is that there are just too many people who don't really realize, have a clue that this is not going to end well, particularly for you, the youth, who will inherit the bill and the effects and the consequences. Some are so lost in the game, and I see you fighting each other, as to whose party made the most promises and the insults, who's giving more free things. I don't know whether to cry for you or to be happy for you. But ironically, the same gadgets that you're using to post these things and insult can equally open your eyes to best practices around the world. And that's why I love Prophet Muhammad so much, peace be upon him. He says, seek knowledge all the way to China. And I can't say, my grandfather, Professor Kofi Sariopoku, he says, Nana, there's no such thing as useless knowledge. Seek knowledge. Folks, there is also a great majority who don't care because they are not the ones to fix Ghana's problem. And when they are dead and gone, you can handle the mess. Then there's the final group who stands to benefit from the status quo. So for them, our ignorance means bills and dollar bills to them. So more ignorant we are, the richer they become. Folks, the whole world economy has slowed down because of COVID. Right here in Ghana, the service industry is on its knees. The service industry gives us more in GDP than any other sector. In fact, more than half. 57%, if I'm not wrong. Followed by industry, which is 24%. And even that 24%, folks, how much of that do we really own and retain here? They are all foreign investments. Well, most are foreign investment. But that's the story for another day. However, in spite of the COVID economy, we are still celebrating the Festival of Free. Folks, in spite of the COVID economy, we are still celebrating our usual Festival of Free when the great percentage of our GDP earner is in limbo. I will say this for God knows how many times, and I will keep saying it. It is my staunch belief, it is a fact. And again, seek knowledge. 30 million people in number occupying the land area called Ghana is not a problem. No. Folks, the quality, the lack of human capital, and the speed with which we are growing, it is impossible to manage with our budget, which depends on loans and donors. So 700,000 increase in population a year, and this is after taking out dead people. It's a tough call for any government with our sort of budget to manage. So if at the gates of Jubilee you don't tell us your comprehensive plan for family planning, telling people to slow down and space out, then folks, it's just a promise for the keys. Because you don't have a limitless pot of money. So how do you have an open policy of free that no matter the numbers you will cater for? Again, with which money? Folks, averagely 2,000 deaths on our roads a year. And we were actually on track to beat our record this year. We were not doing bad at all. We were gunning for it. Funny enough, it's COVID-19 that saves us a bit. Folks, it was the deadly COVID-19 that saved us from our mass deaths on the road. Had it not been the deadly disease, we would have broken our own record this year, the way we were going. Yet again, I'm not hearing any measures to stop this senseless killings on our road. Now, mind you that the deadly disease has killed 261. And as at August, road deaths, 1,585. Yes, 1,585. And I am not hearing anyone telling me that when I come to Jubilee, this mass murder, massacre will cease. Folks, one of the things really killing us is indiscipline. Every law we need is right here. But discipline is what we lack. What are the measures being put in place to instill discipline, bring back sanity and order? for us to know that for every right, there's a responsibility. What are these manifestos to change our thinking and mindset, to believe in our culture? Folks, nations are built on foundations of principles so that sustainability will persist. Then there will be no need to police everyone where everyone is in the business of breaking laws. So after COVID, I was expecting a game changer. That these are not normal times. So we have to stop enjoying for today and start saving and planning or planting, as I put it, for the future. A document that tells us that enough. Folks, I don't want to talk too much. Teacher training allowance. Why should it be universal? If you're going to teach a subject where teachers are in very short supply, yes, give you an allowance to incentivize you. If you are prepared to do 10 years in a remote area or an area where teachers are short, why not? We incentivize you. But if you live in Kumasi, do your training in Kumasi, and want to be posted to Kumasi, why should we pay for that? You live in Kaneshi, do your training somewhere near here, want to come and teach in Kokomlemle, why should we foot the bill? Enough of the blanket rules. They must be guided by strict policies to push support where we need it. There should be no more blanket promises. They should be done in such a way that we direct people towards real opportunities which will help them and the nation as well. So yes, Jubilee House is well worth a promise. But the issue is, folks, what are we demanding? Folks, what are we demanding at the gates of Jubilee? And at this point, I'll give you the numbers. And then we shall start our interaction. 0302 216 541. As usual, there's not going to be any personalization and fighting and insulting. I am better than him and better than... No. I'm begging you. Who's my first caller?
Nana Kwesi.
Nana Kwesi, let me hear you.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Okay. I've said this on your show, and I'm going to say it again.
Let me hear you.
To get a government that will say, even if you don't vote for me for the next 4 years, I'm going to make the system work, discipline. Another 50 years will come, and we will still be saying the same thing again. Because we vote for government, they come to power, and whatever they are doing is not mainly for the benefit of the people, but towards the next election. It's how come they leave abandoned projects from a period government. So till we get a government who will make the system work regardless of the next election, then we won't know where to go, because the people, we are indisciplined. We are indisciplined because nobody should teach you to use a bridge. You understand? Mm-hmm. And if they're trying to be corrected, they'll be making noise. We'll vote for you. And from nowhere, you realize that the instruction will stop. So we need the government that will say, look, if you like scream, say you won't vote for me, I'm making the system work. That's the only way we are going for it. Apart from that, another 50 years will come, and we'll still be saying the same thing.
Let us hope that in the light, the youth shall see light. Derek is on the line. Hello, Derek.
Hello, Nana, my brother.
Let me hear
I greet you, sir.
I greet you back.
Nana, you see the nail right on the head. But I think our problem here is some of us are just a pending indisciplined, gullible voting community. So our postmodern politicians are not going to relent, but to at least capitalize on our loose rules. It's about time we start demanding what I think is development, the meaning and the exact what the word means. I thank you.
And I thank you too. It's 0302 216 541. Jubilee House is well worth a promise. But then what promise are we demanding from them? Edmond is on the line. Hello, Edmond.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Greetings to your cherished listeners.
Thank you.
The problem we have of this country is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask us to tight our belt and you are adjusting your belt, what do you expect us to do, or what do you expect to happen?
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, it took Ghanaians 9 months before the first demonstration hit the streets when the His Excellency former John Adeku Kufuor took office. Meaning that people were giving him time to fix the message. Then you realize that his government, the things that his ministers were doing, provoked the people, and people started demanding. So we are building our nation not because of the future. If you look at the development projects that we are doing, not necessarily that the citizens need them, but we are doing them to earn vote. Other than that, nobody will construct a KVIP toilet for you and tell you, I'll give you a toilet, therefore vote for me. So until, as you are saying, until our citizens, as people, we all decide that we are going to fix our nation, we will fight with all our blood, we will do everything that we need for our children to come and enjoy, we should forget it. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. I would say to the House, as I have said to those who have joined this government, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. Winston Churchill, Nana Ansah Kwao IV. Do you really want our politicians to honestly tell us the above? Until there's an upgrade of the mind of the citizen, then the status quo shall remain. Udote ni udote. But on the line is Lukman. Hello, Lukman.
Yes, hello, good evening.
No, it's Adams, right?
Yes, it's Adams here.
Good, Adams, let me hear you.
I'm so happy to get through today.
Good.
And thank you for doing this yeoman's job for Ghana.
Thank you.
I've wondered many times where we are taking the country to. When we were in school at the university, we trusted the voice of the elderly. It's long gone. We all know they are not telling us the truth. And the elderly who are important have money to hypnotize the youth. All of them belong to one party or the other. And therefore, no one is telling them the truth. They want to be told lies. For heaven's sake, what do they hope to bequeath to their youth, their children and grandchildren? My expectation, and I hope God makes this come to pass, that in Parliament one day we will have one single MP who will stand up against his party, as we saw PCP Apiofori did during Kufuor's time. Also, we saw Sami Nkrumah stand up to principles. Our members of Parliament on both sides of the aisle. For heaven's sake, you don't need more than a ball of kinky to sleep at night. Do what you have to do, that we will remember you, as Ghana can never forget Kwame Nkrumah. We can never forget J.B. Dankwa, because they stood for principles. Once again, thank you for doing this for Mother Ghana.
And I thank you for tuning in, and I thank you for even calling. It's 0302 216 541. Michael is on the phone. Hello, Michael.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I don't know how to start it, but then I think Ghana will have a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
People who are intellectuals try to take advantage of the less privileged, and that is what this country is suffering. Because if a home minister could go and commission a single sitter toilet, and people have it that, oh yeah, they have done something and they are praising them, then indirectly the person sees you that you yourself, you don't know what you want. So they will ride on your mind and get what they want in your expense. You understand? So it's about time we, the country, we come together. We need to know this is Ghana. Even ministers in state cannot even recite the national pledge. So how can they be loyal and faithful? If a minister cannot recite a national pledge that guides you, how can you be faithful to your state and do things the way your people want? The rich men always want the poor to come and be begging them for, instead of telling them, go and do something for yourself. You need to change this country. Go to America, take 10 American students or American nurses, give them visa to come to Ghana and work. What are they going to do? They won't come. But a Ghanaian is happy saying that, oh, I want to travel to America. And a Ghanaian even doesn't care to sell his business to travel out of the country. It is very sad.
Need to change our mindset. Thank you very much for the call. Eja Ado is on the line. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Please, I'm very, very angry. Last week I called, and 2 weeks ago, and I don't want our program to be talking. I said I wanted you to choose one of the independent candidates so that you share your ideas for him, so that we, the dissenting listeners, will vote for him to have a change or have a third party to let our leaders know that at least we are doing something. Because I don't think we can do anything to help.
That's a challenge, isn't it? So my policies are there free of charge. I need an independent candidate who's brave enough to take it and run it to the people and say, listen, these are the policies. And I've told you that my policies, you're not necessarily going to win, but we're going to have enough votes in the bank so that when the big parties come to team up with us, we negotiate that. If you want our votes, these are the changes we want. Well, Kwame is on the line. Let me speak to Kwame. Yes.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening, Kwame.
The bottom line is that we are indisciplined. And we don't like anybody who instills discipline. You see, like sometimes you see a policeman who wants to apply the law strictly, and they will tell you, oh, this policeman is wicked. Until we get a leader who wants to instill discipline, this thing will continue. And there's no hope for a country where there's discipline is lacking. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On the line is Ivan. Hello, Ivan.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, let me hear you.
Yes, the problem is far more pervasive than we are looking at it. Right now, it's even spread all the way to primary schools and junior secondary schools and secondary schools. When there are elections there, the kind of money parents are throwing at, trying to win. It's ridiculous. So our problem is far bigger than the way we are looking at it just at the top. The whole system has got serious issues. And we have to look at it far broadly. In the sense that, personally, I don't think democracy is good for a developing country. Can you tell me a country which has developed from democracy? You look at Britain and all those countries, they never gave equal votes to people. First, it was the royal house making decisions before it moved to aristocrats. Even women started voting just in the 1920s. So, and a typical example is to compare China to India, two large countries in terms of population. India is democratic and China is communist. And look at the trajectory they are on. So the problem is big.
I agree with you. The problem is really, really big, and the issue about students' elections is sometimes even more disgusting than about. So we are training them young before we unleash them onto the national scene. But Echo is on the line. Hello, Echo.
Hi, Nana.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hi.
Let me hear you.
Nana, it's very simple. It's very simple. Biblically, the Bible says, by their fruits we shall know them. And then the Bible can say, lack of knowledge, my people perish. It is time for Ghana to be very discerning, to start interrogating the so-called cosmetic manifestos of these political parties also. Other than that, this country will not move forward. And the poverty level is too high. Because you see them coming around, I bet you, after we have about 3 months to election, they will come around with their 10 cities and 5 cities, they'll drive what that's supposed to call Ghana to vote for them. Until the people level is reduced, this country will not move forward. And I thank you very much. God bless you.
God bless you even more for calling. Nana, please, until we, the citizens of Ghana, decide to be responsible, we should forget it. We would forever be taken for granted when we continue to demand for KVIP, free bags of rice, free this, free that. So pathetic. Nana is Abigail Obri Osei from Goyle in Tema. Thank you very much for that message. But Edward is on the line. Hello, Edward.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, I used to say you are a wonderful man. God really bless you.
Thank you.
Nana, the Ghanaian populace must know something, and that is Ghana, we are practicing a system that gives us 3 arms of government. And these 3 arms of government, each and everyone has a responsibility. So, we should not allow them to come and promise anything to us, because it is their responsibility. To go to the Flagstaff House or to go to the Jubilee House is your duty when you get there to fulfill or to provide social amenity for the people. We shouldn't allow them to deceive us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too. And it's 0302216541. Edward is on the line. Hello, Edward.
Hello.
Oh, Fifi, sorry. Fifi, let me hear you.
Yeah. Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
I want to touch on a way out of solving this menace. I call it menace because the problem has become so prevalent. The way out, I believe, is our system of governance that we are having. That is allowing these things, even from primary school, individual homes, every corner of the country, be experiencing these serious indisciplinary things, retarding progress of the country. So the constitution has to be amended, where countervailing authorities can put brakes on the executive and other arms of government. How on earth should the president appoint IGP? How on earth should he have so many MPs to be ministers? These things have to be corrected. Why should president appoint vice chancellors of universities? And all that and all that. Why should president appoint commissioners of a charge and National Labour Commission and what have you? No. Why should we not take all all these things have to be corrected. Why should we allow politicians to mount big billboards and spend so much on campaign? Definitely, when they come to power, they want to reap the investment. Why would they get the money to cover their costs? Obviously, they have to find a way out. Please, let us look at Rwanda. They are a developing country, but they are making a turnaround of their society. Ghana is far richer than Rwanda, but our living standard far lower than them. Why?
Why? Because Rwanda has tied its development to its population. So they look at the population and know how much roads to build. They look at the population and project how much schools to build. Our problem is we've left the population to just do what it wants, and we are also somewhere doing what we want. So assuming, I have 1,000 cedi wage, right? And I have a wife, my daughters, they are all just giving birth and coming to the house. Everybody, be on your family plan. But I only have 1,000 cedis. It gets to a point where you can't look. It's not that you don't have money, but there are more people than the money you can. And that's the problem. Rwanda is on a major family planning education, telling people, yes, it's good to give birth, it's blessed to give birth, but take your time and let it be measured. You can't be in East Legon in a kiosk with 7 children. The millionaire across the road, your kiosk, has got 2 or 1 child, and you think that you have equity. Folks, that's a problem. 700,000 increase in the population. You look at South Korea, they're doing about 350,000, half the amount. So look at how much their GDP is as a country. And if they are getting 350,000 new babies, they have enough money to give those babies quality. Give them incubators, give them nurseries, give them schools, give them parks. There's enough money. If in the same South Korea today, I went there and I was giving them 5 million babies as Nigeria is doing, South Korea will start somersaulting. That's it. The same South Korea today, if I went and gave them Nigeria's number of 5 million a year, they won't be able to handle education, they won't be able to handle health, because it would just be too much. And so I am saying, any politician worth his salt today coming to rule this country, if you don't address the issue of how the mass are coming in as your number one priority, we are in trouble. You are just making promises. But Anthony is on the line.
Hello.
Hello, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm Anthony. I'm talking from Nsawam.
Let me hear you, my brother.
I'm very fortunate. Today is the first time I've been able to get through. Nana, what I want to say is that sometimes when we're discussing a matter like this, those of us who have no power, those of us who, in quote, are not rich, we can think for the future. But my problem is that one day when we get money, one day when we get power, then we also begin to think like those who have power today. We only think about ourselves and today and refuse to think about tomorrow.
Anthony, let me just interject. That's why I'm saying that. When I get to the gates of Jubilee, what are the promises you are asking me to make? Are you telling me to be Catholic? Or you are telling me that, Nana, I want to go to school for free, I want to work for free, I don't want to pay taxes, I want to sell on the road, I want to just what are we demanding? Because I'm sure if somebody came to Jubilee and we told the person that, listen, enough is enough, we need to now do A, B, C, D, I'm sure they'll be happy to say, of course, Charlie, these people have they've wised up, let me do that for them. Oh, I think the line. But the grandpa is on the line. Hello, grandpa.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
With this program, what I want to say is these politicians, they have disturbed us a lot. They have cheated us a lot. They shared 1,200 CDs to people. But when you work it out, it amounts to 83 pesos a day. Are you getting what I'm saying? This is how low the politicians consider us. They are selling us for that much, that pittance. It is an insult, a very big insult. People are also happy just collecting this money, and they are head over heels in love with these politicians, which is not. I don't know what to say. Nana, let's talk to the people who go for these monies to think twice before they take them, and they go about to fighting for no just cause. These politicians' children will never go out to fight. They take them out when it is time for politics to run. They take them out to big universities outside, and when they come back, they come and lord it over us.
Thank you very much. I have Fred back on the line. Hello, Freddie.
Yeah, hello, Nana.
Hi.
Good evening, and thank you for doing a very good work.
Thank you.
I think my suggestion is pretty simple. We all do say that charity begins at home. But then if you look all around, almost those of us who are exacting equity from authority are in one way or the other complicit in what we think they are doing now. And I think it dovetails into what you said earlier on concerning the family planning and how we need to keep our houses in order. I think the discussion starts from there. Once we are able to do that, the politician will know that this person has got 2 children and he can sponsor their education up to, let's say, pre-tertiary. And we would only need government supporting 1 or 2 things to help them maybe get a vocation or go to university or pick up an apprenticeship or something. And then they will begin to take us serious. But if we are all over the place begging them, then I think they will look at what we are saying and turn them into manifesto for us. And every now and then they will keep recycling those promises in the 4-year cycle as we know it now. So let's all begin to do what we need to do first before we'll be able to leverage on that and exact whatever we need from authority. Thank you so much, Nana.
Thank you too. Lack of strategy, planning on all fronts. It's not an election winner to campaign on these home truths, i.e. family planning, discourage men from marrying several women simultaneously, etc. You won't win votes. Esther Udate Wellington. But Ajimai is on the line. Hello, Ajimai.
Good evening, I hope you're doing well.
I'm very good, my brother.
And what I have observed is we Ghanaians, we are lacking dynamism. We don't want to change. Sometimes our leaders will travel outside the country. They will go and see a lot of things changing over there. But when they come, they cannot implement it. But when they are talking, so when you go to the States, when you go to America, when you go to UK, I mean, it's like, as for we Ghanaians, that's how we do it. And we always keep on doing it the same way. That's why we are not improving. God bless you, Nana.
God bless you too. While I take Alberta, my first lady caller today. Hello, Alberta.
Hello, good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
And please, I hope you are doing well.
I'm good, Alberta.
Nana, I'm listening to you and it looks like I'm sad. I'm sad because I don't know where the situation is. It seems we are confused. We really don't know what we want as a people. Maybe somebody wants money, somebody wants development. So it is confusion that is bringing all this. It's our time that we must be united and look up to one thing, that this is what we need as a nation. And if we have that in mind, the politician will not deceive us and take us for granted any longer.
Thank you very much. Let me get Ebenezer. Hello, Ebenezer.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening, my brother.
Question. Why do you think they were clubbing themselves and shooting at Angel at a simple registration exercise? To come and effect the change that you are yearning for? I think not.
Nope.
So I think we ourselves don't want change. If they want our vote, you must be 18 and above. If you want to run for president, you must be 40 and above. How can we bring about this change? Okay? You are in the comfort of your home and somebody must just courage to take your life. What is going on in this country? I'm surprised nobody is talking about it. Now listen, they say before you are able to contest, you have to pay 100,000 Ghana cedis. Nana, somebody is out there who can bring about this thing, this population dynamics that you are talking about. Why is he going to bring this, get this amount to effect the change you are talking about? So we do not want the change.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly take Dan as my last caller. Hello, Danny.
Yeah.
Make it quick for me and thank you.
Oh, quick one. Can you please tell us what the National Population Council is there for and what impact is made over the years on the population growth of Ghana?
I hope they are listening and they will have to come and answer this. I think they are listening. I know the executive director normally listens to the show, so I hope she's heard the message directly done. But thank you very much. Pastor Obing Fresh has sent a message. He says a man set out to change the world. He realized it was too much. Came back to his country, he couldn't manage. Came back to his little village, he couldn't manage. And then realized he had to change himself. Let us all change. I thank you one and all. I love you one and all. MFA Apao is going to give you the news bulletin. Sammy Forson is going to overdrive you. So the last thing you want to do is touch that dial. It's be a taboo. But next Monday I will be back with a different opinion and with all share and JoJo ideas. But as I say, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting will always glorify the hunter.